Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to this four-parter social media masterclass that I've just decided right now I'm going to do. And it's going to be impromptu. I'm just going to be chatting casually with you about the things that have made the biggest difference for me in terms of social media. Now, I at this stage have 800,000 followers. And using social media and understanding the skill of social media has actually completely transformed my life. It allowed me to pivot very successfully from touring all over the world as a songwriter to being around for my daughter, building two businesses that have allowed me the success and bought me essentially the time to just focus on being a present dad. Now, to me, that is absolute success. That is complete and utter true success because I decided that I needed to be around for my daughter, and then I used social media as a way to still be creative, still make an impact in the world, make a bigger impact in the world, and create the financial stability that's needed to run a household and look after a wee girl who is a little bit like a blender without a lid. That's always how I describe Rosa. She's 7 years old. She's a redhead. But my journey into social media is one that you might resonate with, in the sense that I hated social media. My first impression of social media was MSN, Bebo, MySpace, stuff like that. Way back in 2009, I only started my social media journey a few years ago. And for the longest time, my mentality, my mindset around it all was just incredibly negative, and I didn't realize. And this is probably the first element that I want you to bring some consciousness to, is right now, I would reckon if you don't have a good amount of traffic and a good amount of attention and a good amount of connection happening through social media, I'm going to pretty much guarantee that the first building block that you need to put in place is a good mentality, is a good mindset around social media. Because if you look at social media as a necessary evil, quote unquote, or something really bad, something terrible, no matter how skilled you even get at it, you're always going to come up against this kind of block around how you do it, because ultimately you think it's a bad thing. It's the same with money. It's when people say money is the root of all evil, right? And then they're broke. All those people are broke. And the reason is because they don't respect it. Or people who say money's not important. It's like, imagine you said to your kid, you're not important, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you're not important. They wouldn't stick around very long. So what we have to learn how to do is love social media, because at the end of the day, what social media actually is, what the internet actually is a network of people. Internet work. That's what internet means. And so as a songwriter, once I started to take social media seriously, I understood what it was and I understood what it wasn't. And I realized that if I wanted to, I could use it to build the life of my dreams. And I now have that. Like I started by saying, I have the flexibility, I have the time to be around for my daughter, to pick her up anytime from school, to just spend time with her. Sometimes she comes on the lives and we sing together, or we have podcasts, or we do whatever. Now, back when I was a touring musician, there's no way that I could have involved her in my working life like that. I was really lucky. My dad took me to he was a cabinet maker, and he took me to his workshop all the time. And that was a really formative experience for me, because I got to see a man working, experiencing life. And that was a great example. I really wanted my daughter, Rosa, to have that experience of working with her dad. And now she can. You know, I don't let her face be on the screen, but yet she's involved in a lot of what I make, and ambiently kind of in the content that I make. And that's the first point that I want to lead with. I think one of the reasons that people get turned off social media is because they think that in order to do it, they have to do something that isn't them. Now, this is a complicated one, because In one way you do, but in another way you completely don't, and it's not the way you think. So let me explain. You do have to become a new person because you have to stop being lazy, all right? And listen, I love being lazy. I'm not judging you. I'm not slagging you. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I get it. If I could literally just post one video and have the whole world come to me and just book me for every gig, and just, I'd have loads of coaching clients and just like a massive club with loads of people in it, I'd love that. That'd be amazing, right? And here's the thing, here's what happens. You have these unicorn cases of, let's say, someone like, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a songwriter called Zach Bryan, right? What happened for him is he did a couple of videos on his guitar in an army barracks, and they just blew up, just went crazy all over the internet. And it was one of those kind of transformations. Oliver Anthony, another example. You'll have these people who they'll have one YouTube that just catches fire, one TikTok that just catches fire. This can happen, and I've experienced my own version of this on certain videos. I've gone viral countless times now. I've had videos that have had millions and millions and millions of views. But what I want to offer you is that what tends to happen is people tend to use the exception that proves the rule. The exception that proves the rule. This point is really important. What most people think is the one person who's done it really easily with one video is how it happens if you're good. And what I want to offer you is that 99.9% of the time it's not going to work like that. It's going to work like post, 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 nothing happens. Post, 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 nothing happens. And on and on and on. It took me a year and a half of posting 5 times a day to go viral. 5 times a day. But I'm glad, because looking back on my first videos, if any of them had gone viral, that would have been bad for me because those videos sucked. They were terrible. So what I want to offer you is a mindset shift right now. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. If you're a painter, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you own a roofing company, if you own a florist, the number one thing that you need to do is post on social media. You have no business in 2025 not posting multiple times a day on every platform. And you might be thinking, but Adam, I don't know what to say. Adam, I don't know what to do. It doesn't actually matter. Let me give you an example. So one time I do a thing where I help songwriters sing, create a 5-track album of songs that they sing, right? And maybe they can go from having, no idea how to record nothing. I help them literally take all the ideas, manifest them, put them in a really good package. I play all the instruments, produce it, and we do that together. And it's a 5-track deal. So I sell 5 songs. It costs £2,500. And I help people to make a 5-track album that they're really proud of at a fraction of the normal cost, at a fraction of the normal stress. Because a lot of the stress for people often is just that they are having to organize studios, all these different people. And so one time I was in chats with a really, really nice guy about doing his mini album. And he just, at the last minute, he was really close to signing and doing it. And at the last minute, he said, I'm not going to do it right now, mate. And I just said, cool, no hassle. You know where I am. And if you change your mind, I'm here. Let's do it. Anyways, about 3 weeks later, right, I was doing a post and I just had thought of this very niche, particular kind of therapy that I'd had about 2 years ago. I was really, really struggling. And it turned out I actually had post-traumatic stress disorder. And so I was researching, I was learning as much as I could about post-traumatic stress disorder and about how to get treated. And I discovered this crazy therapy called EMDR. Not everybody knows about it. Quite a lot of people in my club know about it now because I'm talking about loads. Sorry, guys, there's an alarm. One sec. So, anyway, I got this. Hopefully that's okay. I think it's still going just now. It's just the wind has been so crazy in the last 2 days. Anyway, I got this really niche kind of therapy called EMDR, and it changed my life. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. It completely transformed my life. It was amazing. So I wrote this long post about EMDR, just saying what a difference it had made, because I feel like, you have a responsibility. If something's really benefited you, it's like you have a responsibility, especially as a public figure, public person, you have a responsibility to share the things that have helped, right? That's what I'm doing right now. Share the things that have helped you because it could help someone else. So I wrote this post all about EMDR. What do you know about 2 weeks after, this guy gets back in touch. Hey man, I was in the army. I actually had PTSD, and to be honest, I've just felt so nervous about making my own music. This guy that was going to do the mini album, and he said, I saw your post about the EMDR. I'd love to go ahead with you, right? There's a beautiful example. You might be a roofer right now, and you might do a post about how you love the football team Hibs, and that might connect you to someone else who loves, it's just humanity. It's just the willingness to be visible, to put yourself at the top of folks' attention, and to be visible and be brave enough to be visible and trust in the universe and trust in the good that's out there. Now, since building social media, and bearing in mind, 2.5 years ago, I had 2,000 followers on Instagram and about 2,000 followers on Facebook, and I now have 800,000. Since then, my whole life has totally changed, and I just decided I was going to do that. And what I want to offer you is, if you decide not to be lazy and you decide to be courageous, you can change your life with social media. And there's no better way to change your life quickly in 2025 than social media. So I have a couple of questions from people who are in my club. Sarah's asking how to boost Instagram with poetry, not with music. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter what you're posting. It doesn't matter. We are in the age now of interest media. They're calling it interest media. So the way I look at social media is, it's just like busking. When I first started playing music, I used to go out to the street, get my guitar, put a little hat out, and I would sing songs, and maybe 100 people would go past me. And maybe out of that 100 people, there might be 2 or 3 are loving the music and stop, hey, really love the music. They put a few quid in the hat. And the few quid they put in the hat is not even, the point of it is not even really to make the money. The point is actually just that you've connected to someone, right? The point is that it works. The point is that you're getting to know people. You're connecting to people who are on your vibration, and it's available to you, dude. It's in your hand right now. You're holding a device. So I want to urge you to make the switch in your mindset from being a consumer to being a creator. Now, what's stopping you? Let's talk about that. What's stopping you? And so obviously, specifically, I'm speaking to people who want to post on social media and feel blocked, feel stuck. What's stopping you is quite simply the fear of people seeing you try. And I get it, but this ties into the unicorn effect, where you've heard of one person blowing up, going viral off of one video, and then you use that as your example for every single form of success. And that's not how it works. That's not how it's going to work for you. You're going to have to let people see you try and be embarrassed about it. You're going to have to. That's just how it is. And if you are willing to experience embarrassment for long enough, you'll find your voice. Just today, I was coaching a girl, young girl, tremendously talented. She's only 16 years old, and I'm coaching her right now on music, building a career, social media, all that stuff. It's an absolute privilege to get to coach a 16-year-old. I remember how I felt when I was 16, and it was just God, what a crazy, crazy, crazy time, and a hard time, you know. And so I feel really, really privileged to get to coach her on social media. Just today we were talking about how finding your voice is, as an artist, but you could say the same about social media. Finding your voice is so much about being willing to just make mistakes, you know, just to get out there and make mistakes. And in this new age of AI, in this new age of all of this weird, perfect content, my vote on the future, where I think the future's going, is live streaming is going to be probably the most important thing in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, because people are not going to be able to trust whether something's AI or real anymore. I get probably 20 messages a day from people saying an AI version of me is trying to scam them, saying that I have different services I offer, like helping people record, coaching people. I've got my club, there's 1,000 people in there, and all these different things. There will be people sending me messages saying there was a fake AI version of you trying to sell me that thing. So more and more of that is going to come. By the way, guys, come and join my club. If you want to join Comment Club, come and check it out. All my best content's in there. We'd love to have you in there. There's 1,000 of us. Come and join us. So I would see live streaming, and I would see raw, unfiltered, unedited footage is going to become more and more valuable. So actually, you're starting at a great time, because right now in the world, this has never been the case before. There's a democratization, if that's a word, a leveling, if you like, of attention, because the God's honest truth is a 16-year-old girl in Japan, say, with an iPhone can have the same power as Sony Records, right? Can just, by posting consistently videos, might just find a weird one that pops and does amazingly, right? To me, that's so exciting. Now, I post a lot, and I only post off of one principle, which is a piece of content can change your life. One piece of content can change your life, change your entire life, change your family's life, and you don't know which one it is, and you're going to fail a lot. So the way I see it is, let's fail as much as possible. Just fail fast. Money loves speed. Success loves speed. Make a lot of failures, make them quickly. And the beautiful thing is, when I started out making music, you had to, if you wanted a really good music video, you had to hire a team. You had to hire a bunch of guys and really plan it out and blah, blah, spend tons of money. Right now, if you're an artist or a songwriter or a florist or a roofer or a carpenter or a plumber, you can have as much success as the highest level people if you're willing to be embarrassed and pull out your phone and just, make noises and show what you like and show how you feel and be human on camera. If you're willing to do those things, you can change your life. So I want to encourage you. By the way, this is probably video 1 of 4 videos I'm going to do on social media. I don't know, in the next week, I'll decide. And I'll put them in the club. I want to ask you, I want to invite you right now. I want to invite you to commit to posting not once, not twice, but 3 times a day for a week, and see what happens. I can hear you already. I can hear your brains. That's too much. People get sick of me. People won't like it. Listen, your people are not going to get sick of you. I've got my homies in my club. They love me. Not everyone loves me. A lot of people don't like my content. A lot of people say, oh, it's clickbait, it's blah, blah. I don't care. I'm not interested, because I know that my vibration is out there, and I know I'm going to attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances into my sphere. And I'm in a space of abundance about that. I'm in a place of abundance about that. I'm comfortable and I'm confident putting myself out there. But if you'd seen me 2 years ago, very different man. Standing in front of a camera and talking like I'm doing right now is a skill. It's a skill. It is a skill. Social media is a skill. Making interesting content is a skill. All of it's learnable. All of it is something you learn through repetition, through practice. So do so much of it that there's no chance that you won't not be successful. I was coaching my girlfriend. She used to be nervous, embarrassed about posting. I just was coaching her for a year, and she now has 13,000 followers, and she's getting paid to speak on social media and helping artists with that, and also is making good money selling her paintings online. So get over yourself. It doesn't matter. Your embarrassment, your shame. You've got a gift that you need to give to the world. Stop getting in your own way and being embarrassed about it. Just get over yourself and get your art out there. Hope this one got you fired up. If you're not already in my club, please come and join. It's only $2 a month. You get all my best content. If you want to check it out, you can click the link in the top comment, and there's loads of amazing content in there. All right, peace. Catch you.